Om Namo Lohi Sarvatrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Lohi Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Lohi Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Lohi Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Lohi Sarvatrikavarti Samanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Mokshadam Shaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. नमः समयसाराय स्वानुभूत्या चकासते चित्स्वभावाय भावाय सर्वभावान्तरच्छिदे अज्ञानतिमिरन्धानां ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः तीर्थङ्करो जगन्नाथवर्तो ओङ्कारनादजिननो जयवन्तवर्तो जिनना समो शरण सौ जयवंत वर्तो ने तीर्थचार जगमा जयवंत वर्तो नमो तीर्थनायक ने नमो ओंकार नादने ओंकार संगरुते नमो ते श्री कुंद कुंदने अहोपकार जिनवरनो कुंदनो ध्वनि दीव्यनो जीन कुंद ध्वनियाप्या अहो ते गुरु काननो अहो ते भगवती मातनो ध्रुव अचल में अनुपम गति पामेल सर्वे सीधने वंदे कहो सुत केवल भाषित आसमय प्राव्रत अरे एक शुद्ध सदा अरूपी ज्ञान दर्शनमय खरे कहीं अन्य थे मारू जरी परमाणु मात्र નથી અરે जब नेत्र थे मुझ ज्ञान નથી कारक નથી वैदक अरे जाने जकर मोदय निरजरा बंदते मज मोक्ष ने ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम श्री सुधात्माने नमः Jai Jinendra. Today is August 15, 2018, Wednesday, and we are continuing our discussion on Samaysar. We are on stanza 13, and last week we discussed about those 6 causes. And I know for some, and it was kind of a little bit difficult also. Don't worry about it. When we come to the actual chapter on that, we'll go in great depth and everything, and we'll just revisit again. Only the take-home point in that one is me having mode, I having mode. I means I'm a soul substance. This one is a matter substance, medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time, 6 universal substances. A substance is called substance when there are infinite attributes within and also infinite modes within. A substance cannot be there without modes, without attribute. So I, as a soul substance, that means I have an attribute and I have a modes. Those modes are occurring every moment, since time infinite, and it will continue for time infinite forever. That particular mode occurring in a present time, that particular mode occurring in that present time is independent. That's all the take home point was there. That mode is independent. Nobody created that mode. That mode got generated from its own causes, the own reason that mode came. If you don't remember those things, nothing to worry, except to know that each and every mode in every substance. I'm a soul substance. This is a matter substance, medium motion, medium rest, space and time. Every substance has a mode, and that mode is independent. Out of that 6 substances, medium motion, medium phase, space and time are pure forever. So their modes are pure and pure and pure forever. So there is nothing more to talk about. Only in the soul and matter, because of the interactive capacity, they can create pure mode or diluted mode. So the pure mode or diluted mode, either of the mode occurring, that occurs independently. That's all take home message is. It's independent. Number one, we just know that all the soul substances are independent. I am a soul, and other things are matter substance around me. Me as a soul substance is separate from those things. I am separate from all other universal substances to the point, to the point that I am separate from you as a soul substance. You are a soul substance. I'm a soul substance. But for me, for my area of influence, you are non-living for me. Even though you are a conscious, natured soul substance, for me, my sphere of action is limited to my substance, area, space, and modes, and etc. So my area of influence is limited within me only. So for me, you as a soul are also non-living for me, non-entity for me, non-living for me. The rest of the matter substances are non-living for me. Medium motion, medium phase, space and time, they are separate from me. So substances are separate from each other. That probably is easy to digest. But in a given substance now, in a given substance, there are infinite attributes are there. Knowledge attribute, conduct attribute, faith attribute, eternal existence attribute, substantiality attribute. Like that, infinite attributes are present in a given soul. And all those infinite attributes are also separate from each other. Their sphere of action is separate. Soul substances are separate from other substances, we understand, but this attribute, knowledge attribute, is separate from conduct attribute, and that is separate from faith attribute, and that is separate from bliss attribute, etc., etc. So all these attributes are also separate. Now coming to the modes, and what happens in the modes? In the modes, there can be a pure mode or impure mode. My present mode right now, my present mode is separate from all the previous modes and separate from all the future modes. And that is important. So independence of everything in this Jain philosophy, and especially Kunkunacharya Dev, really expounding that idea to us, that every substances are independent, all the attributes are independent, all the modes are independent, and each mode is also independent, that does not have relationship with anybody else. If we take infinite modes in the past which occurred, and infinite modes coming in the future, no two modes are same. They all are unique in their own way. And that was the message in saying, when Gurudev said about 6 causes, that's what he meant to convey to us, that everything is independent, mode is independent, mode does not depend on anything else. So that was the important thing. Now we are going to go to the next thing. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to bring that. Okay, now we are coming to the thing. We were over here, slideshow, current slide. So A mode, that this is the take-home message from all the 6 causes, that a mode is getting generated by itself, by its own 6 causes, and has no dependency on any alien objects, etc. So it just tells us what does it mean. It means even on that mode, soul substance has no control over it. What does it mean? I am the soul substance and this is my mode. You mean I can't control my mode? No, not necessarily. Why? If soul substance is pure, soul substance is pure forever, then why am I having deluding mode right now? Soul substance is pure, then if soul substance is control over here, then it should make a pure mode. But it's not. I have a impure modes occurring, deluding modes occurring, anger, deceit, ego, greed, ignorance, wrong belief type of modes occurring, because my modes are generated by itself, and even soul substance has no control over it. Having said that, even attribute cannot control over it. I have a knowledge attribute. Then why am I in the ignorant state? I have a faith attribute. Why do I have the faith, altered faith toward the alien objects of the universe? I have a conduct attribute. Why do I have the conduct towards the ownership of the alien objects type of behavior? All these things are happening. So even attributes are pure, knowledge attribute is pure, but the knowledge mode coming out can be impure, can be partly pure, or can be completely pure. It could be in altered fashion, it could be in a pure fashion. So again, attribute has no control over it. Okay. Third one. Now, the substance has no control. We probably understood. Attribute has no control, understood. But previous mode, just the previous mode. I have 10 modes right now, and on the 5th mode, I have a Samyak Darshan mode right now. So the 4th mode, the 4th dissipated mode, does it have any control on the 5th mode or not? Well, the first mode was a wrong faith, so was a second mode was wrong faith, so was a third mode was a wrong faith, so was a 4th mode was wrong faith. So we can think that, okay, the previous mode has some kind of a effect on this coming mode. So on the 4th mode, when it dissipated, the 5th mode came as a Samyak Darshan mode. Why? Up until now, all the modes were coming as a deluding mode. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And we presume that way that each mode, previous dissipating mode, gives effect on the coming mode. But the 5th mode coming has a purity, Samyak Darshan mode, right faith mode. How did that happen? Because the immediate dissipation of the prior mode is not the reason for generation of this present mode. So substance has no control, attribute has no control, previous modes they have no control. I am thinking right now that, my God, this philosophy is so detailed, so complicated, so difficult to understand. I'm trying level hard, but I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going to get anything. I don't think in this life I'm going to get Samyak Darshan, or even in the future I won't get it. So, rather than wasting my time here, why should I not go and quote unquote enjoy? Quote unquote enjoy those alien objects of the universe and eat, drink, and be merry. Why can't I think that way? This one says that even if you have intense, deep, deluding state occurring all the time, that does not give surety that next mode will not be a pure mode. So, in a room full of darkness, for darkness of ignorance in time infinite, I don't know how that ignorance will go away. Only the thing, I put the switch on, light comes, and that intense darkness of infinite time disappears in just that particular moment. So same way, I have a capacity to do that one. Think about that lion in the jungle, in the 10th previous life of Mahavir. That lion is a fierce lion and killing animals for his food, etc., and all the things. And suddenly, because of his old past, because of his impression from the knowledge impression from the past lives, he was almost ready towards Samyak Darshan. And the two monks, they descend, they are descending from the sky, they give the discourses, and that lion ends up getting Samyak Darshan. If the lion can get Samyak Darshan, I'm far better than him. I can get it too. I have to have that conviction. I can make it, I can make it, I can make it. If that conviction is there, nothing is impossible. It just the door keeps on opening for the success, and we will be leading, we will be going toward the pathway for getting Samyak Darshan, to have our pure mode in the form of a pure mode coming, which is right faith mode. So one does not have to get discouraged. Well, at least I am knowing something. Look at my colleagues, they are just lost cause and everything. Never think that way to anybody. At one time, Gurudev Sri gave on a Kshamavani day. Kshamavani day means forbearance day. On the 10th days are Das Lakshan Parva, and on the 12th day is called Kshamavani day. And that day, Gurudev Sri gave one amazing, powerful sentence he spoke, which was essence of whole Jain philosophy. What he said, that I'm asking for forgiveness. We also ask for forgiveness. We also ask Michhami Dukram to everybody on Samvatsari day and everything. Gurudev Sri said, I ask for forgiveness to any living object, any living being in the universe. If I have seen or felt any of the living being in the universe from the modal aspect, this guy is a foolish, this guy is dumb, this guy is horrible, this guy is cruel. These are the modal aspect. But behind that mode, there is an eternal soul substance, which is a pure soul substance sitting there. So Gurudev said that if I have seen or felt any living being in this universe in the form of the mode, on the modal state I perceive them, then I beg for forgiveness. Such a powerful statement. He is looking everybody as a pure soul. He used to say, Bhagwan Atma. Bhagwan Atma means you are the soul, you are the Bhagwan, you are the pure, you are the Siddh, you are the Aryan. From the substantial perspective. So never ever criticize anybody. You never know when that changes can occur to that person, and he could be that lion, and then he can have Samyak Darshan. He can just run ahead of me. Never try to criticize anybody. So these are the one in which our conduct, natural conduct, day-to-day living conduct. Nobody has to teach me all the thing. When Gurudev says, when you understand this kind of thing, automatic from you, the compassion state will occur to you. If somebody has a disease, somebody is poor, somebody is hungry, you have a compassion which is automatic, because you are thinking that that person is in the modal state, but behind that he is an eternal soul substance, pure soul substance, capable of liberation also. So compassion comes automatic. You don't have to cultivate the compassion within you. Understanding of the scripture alone has to have that kind of compassion feeling occurring within you. Has to have you become less anger, deceit, ego, greed becomes less and less within you. And think about it. 5 years back, we all were there, and today we are there, knowing these things. How much changes have occurred within me? Important thing is, because we understand the scripture, so we look people not from the modal perspective, and we just have compassion regarding that. So that's a very, very important thing occurring just by understanding that mode gets generated by its own reason. Then mode cannot occur because of the instrumental cause is present or absent. Instrumental cause can only be called instrumental cause when an action in the principal cause is occurring. You are instrumental cause for me. You are a listener and I'm a talker, but I am separate, you are separate. I can be talking anything, whether you are there or not. You are in instrumental cause, I'm the principal cause. But because I am speaking, that's why you are called listener. If I'm not there and you are quote unquote listener, you won't be called listener, because there is no speaker there. So action has to be there to denote denote something as an instrumental cause. So if I have no action occurring, the mode is a one where the actions are occurring. If mode is not there, for example, then anything cannot be labeled as instrumental cause. We saw that fountain picture. The water became colorful in the fountain. At that time, that light is called instrumental cause. When the water by itself was supposed to be in colorful state, then the presence of light is denoted as an instrumental cause. When the water is not there in the fountain, that light is present, but it's not called instrumental cause. In this room, there are lights present, and it's the evening time, so those lights are instrumental cause for me. But if I walk out of this room and the lights are remaining on, they are not instrumental cause for anybody, any entity. So instrumental cause is also not reason for production of a present mode. In fact, present mode is there. That's why this guy is called as an instrumental cause. When action is present in the mode, then associative favorable situations are denoted as an instrumental cause. Okay, next. Alien objects cannot interfere. Alien objects of the universe cannot interfere in the production of the mode. Mode occurs because of its own self. Then you can just say, but I have karma fruition, and that's why certain modes occur that way. The question is right. The question thrown that because there is a alien object in the form of karma fruition, and that's why the mode is occurring in that particular state. A person spoke bad words And that's why the principal person became angry. If he did not speak bad word, this guy would not have become angry. So those kind of example we are giving. To dissect that example, for example, the karma fruition. Karma get bonded to the soul, and after at certain time they come in fruition. So the longest time karma can get stuck to the soul is called deluding karma, that can be there with the soul for 70 kroda krodi sagropam years. Huge, huge, huge number. I did something bad today, and then I got the deluding karma got stuck to me, and they may come in fruition all the way up to 70 kroda krodi sagropam years. We don't want to go kroda krodi sagropam years math right now. It's huge time. But the mode in me, in myself, is coming in sequential order, and that sequential order is present since time infinite. Since time infinite, it was decided that at particular moment on August 15, 2018, such and such time in the evening, I will be screaming with the anger. So that mode was predetermined, prefixed, time infinite before. And in terms of time infinite, the 70 kroda krodi sagropam time is not even drop in an ocean. So this mode is predetermined, prejudged since time infinite, and the alien objects in the form of a karma fruition maximum distance was 70 kroda krodi sagrapa, which is a minuscule time. So that way they cannot interfere in generation of this mode. That's why this mode getting generated is non-relativistic. Non-relativistic means independent. That mode is occurring independently. It's called nirapeksh. Nirapeksh means independent. Independent means non-relativistic, not dependent on any of the other objects present. And so that mode is independent. Because it is independent, because it is non-relativistic, that's why it is called mode having its own innate state. Paryayano parinamic bhav. Paryayano parinamic bhav means innate state of the mode. That innate state of the mode lasts for one samay only, but during that samay it has its own way of working. It could be in the form of anger, deceit, ego, greed, or partial purity, or complete pure mode. Whatever that mode wants to do, it can do it by itself. No external forces has any effect on it. So it is called paryay, it's called modal innate state, or in Gujarati it is called paryayno parinamic bhav. Now remember one thing, this is only one perspective. So we have to be aware of the different perspective. That's what Gurudev is trying to explain to us. That you have to understand that a given mode here, this present mode, I'm looking from this perspective. This perspective, it is non-relativistic, it is independent, it occurred because of its own self, because of its own six causes. But there is also other way of looking that mode, that mode also has associated fruition of karma associated with that. So that fact also is not to be ignored. We have to know that part. So one mode alone seen from two different angles. One angle, it is a niropex, it's non-relativistic, it's a pure, it's an independent. But on the same mode, from the other side, when you are looking, there is also relationship, nimit nimitic sambandh, principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship with alien objects, means the fruition of karma, it is there. So we have to understand whole scenario from where we are talking, which subject we are talking. If we go out today and just say my mode is non-relativistic and I'm non-relativistic and I have no relationship with anything else, no, then the world doesn't work that way. The daily life does not work that way. We do have interdependency on the other objects. If you go and just say, well, I'm independent and I don't need secretary in the office, I don't need car, I don't need food, I don't need fish. No, it won't work that way. You've got to understand that I have a relationship in this world when I'm here. At the same time, I'm an independent person. That relationship is transient in nature. That should be in the back of my mind. And depending on the situation where I am, I have to utilize those kind of relationship and act on it. And that will be my perfect living. Internally, I have to know that I'm independent, but presently, I'm dependent. If I just say I'm independent, my modes are independent, well, I'll go to office. I may not go to the office and my work is getting done. No, you will have to go to work tomorrow. You will be working, you will have a paycheck, and you will have a house, you will have a family, you will have a car, and all those things. But they are transient in nature. That kind of established idea should be there in the mind. I love my car. I love that car. I love that expensive car. I bought it. And I'm just boasting all over the town. I had the best possible car in the whole town. One of my friends, several years back, he bought BMW 7 Series. This was about 25, 30 years back. Nobody knew what BMW 7 Series is. And then he was saying, well, this BMW, there are only total 4 or 5 in the whole city of Phoenix. Big deal. So what? Well, but so you don't have to boast about it. Yeah, it is there with you. You have it, but don't keep on boasting about it because it's an associated thing. God forbid, for example, in that BMW, you are going and let's say there's a head-on collision, not because of you, but somebody else's fault, and the car got totaled. Now what? You're going to make a first phone call in the house to your home, and your spouse is going to ask question, are you okay? Wait, I'm a BMW 7 Series, only 2 or 3 or 4 in the town, and you are asking me about me? Well, because they are disposable. So those are kind of things we have to keep thinking in our mind. So this is one perspective, but that perspective is very, very powerful perspective. Has to have this understanding. Then we'll be living normal life. At the same time, we'll know what is my ultimate destination. Having said that, instrumental cause for the living being to be in modal state is a non-living karma. After all these things we just said in the previous slide, now suddenly Gurudev brings instrumental cause and says non-living karma are instrumental cause for your mode to occur. So now he goes on the other perspective right away. This is the style Gurudev has applied throughout his 45 years of pravachan that he gave. He gives extreme weight on certain things, and while we are done gung-ho on that idea, suddenly he says, but there is also instrumental cause which is present karma. Don't ignore that one, because 9 reals are occurring because of having the instrumental cause being present. And so he's talking to us and explaining to us what does that sentence mean. It means following, that soul and its mode. Now on this column is a soul, on this column is a non-living karma, and true or false statement. So soul and its mode. as alteration from the natural state. So soul's mode, soul is having a mode by itself. Then at the same time, karma has its own mode. So karma and soul are related to each other, and so that sentence is true from the modal state, but it's untrue from the substantial perspective. Let me bring it. Yeah, here. So it's a soul's mode is there, karma's mode is there. They both have relationships. So from a modal state, it's a true relationship. I have a soul, I have a mode, and karma fruition is there. Those are present. And so that's a true, but that's a modal state. But that sentence is untrue from substance perspective, because I'm my own boss, karma is his own boss, and we both are entirely separate. So from substantial perspective, that's not a true statement. Similarly, auspicious inclination occurs within me. Auspicious inclination occurs within me, and fruition of auspicious karma occurring in the karma. So that's a true from the modal state, but untrue from the substantial perspective. So auspicious inclination occurred within me, and then at the same time there was fruition of karma, and that's why the present mode in the form of a punya mode occurred. Remember, I'm the soul. In my soul, the eligibilities of these modes are stamped forever. Each and every mode occurred during that eligible time only. So auspicious inclination mode is supposed to be in the auspicious inclination form within me, and on this side fruition of karma is there, and they both interact with each other, and that's why I can see auspicious inclination in the soul. I want to do puja, I want to do abhishek, I want to do swadhay, I want to give donation to the temple, and all, I have a compassion feeling. All those situations, they are the present expressed auspicious inclinations. The present auspicious inclination expression has to have both the guys present. Auspicious inclination in the soul, fruition of auspicious karma in the karma side, both are present, and that's why it's true from the modal state. Now, the present time is over, and that auspicious inclination mode goes back into the soul with the stamp of auspiciousness and stays in the soul. At that time, when it goes into the soul back again, that has no presence of one second. Pradeepji, I can't talk. I'm in class right now. Okay, I'll talk. Yeah, bye. Thanks. Sorry, I'm sorry. So auspicious inclination to be expressed. There is a presence of fruition of karma, but that auspicious inclination sitting in the soul since time infinite, and there it was not expressed because there was no fruition of karma present. After this present mode is over, that auspicious inclination mode of the soul is with the stamp of eligibility into the soul, and there is no karma fruition present at the time, so there is no expression. Only in the present state, two guys are coming together, and that's why the mode is expressed. So from modal state, it's a true statement, but from the substance perspective, it's an untrue statement. And this is the same thing we have gone through it for several weeks on this 13th stanza, telling the same fact. This is kind of revision coming at the end. Same thing is happening in auspicious inclination to be expressed. There is a fruition of inauspicious karma is present, so it's true from the modal state, but it's untrue from the substantial perspective. Inauspicious inclination occurs into the soul, and fruition of karma occurs into the karma, and they both are separate substances. So from substance perspective, they are not a true statement. Then comes one second. Then comes the nature of inclination of attachment at such a state means psychic inflow. Bhav karma, psychic inflow means I have the rise of rag and dvesh within me, independently occurring within me. I have a rise right now, expressed right now. And while that gets expressed, there is a karma particle is present in the form of material inflow, means dravya, the dravya astral. So when both are present, then it's been that mode is expressed, and so it's true from the modal state. But from the from substantial perspective, they both are entirely separate. Similarly, now psychic bondage. Bondage means presence of a rag and dvesh within me, and at that time, material karma getting stuck to the soul. That's called material bondage. Both are coming together, and that's why that's bondage is being expressed in the present state. But once that is happening, then it goes into the soul by itself, and it remains as a dormant, and that dormancy cannot be expressed anytime, but only it will be expressed on the particular present time only. So past dormancy, future dormancy, they are there in the form of stamp only. So true from modal state and untrue from the substantial perspective. Similarly, beginning of purity state, I have a samvar occurring within me, bhav samvar occurring within me. I have the purity occurred within me. I have now attention drawn to my eternal soul substance. The attention until now was towards the alien objects of the universe, and now they are drawn to my eternal soul substance. And at that time, purity is generated in the mode that is called bhav samvar or psychic stoppage. At that time, what happens in the karma side? Material karma stops coming to the soul. That's called material stoppage. So both the things getting expressed. Now, that means it's true from the modal state, untrue from the substantial perspective, just like everybody else about. Same thing happens here is a sorry. Same thing happens here. Increasing purity of the soul is psychic shading, bhav nirjara. At the same time, material karma getting dissociated from the soul, that's called material shading or dravya nirjara. Both are occurring at the same time, and that's why it's an express mode, and that's why it's called nirjara mode. Again, true from the modal state, because they are expressed together, but untrue from a substantial perspective, the purity occurs by itself in the soul. Material karma gets dissociated itself from the soul, entirely separate event, and so is a complete purity, soul's liberation. And on this side, no karma with the soul means a material liberation. This is called bhav moksha. This is called dravya moksha. They both are independent, but in the mode they are related to each other, and so true from the modal state, but untrue from the substantial perspective. So this opens up our whole. This solidifies our idea about independence of the substance, independence of the mode, at the same time dependency also on the presence or absence of a material karma in the form of an instrumental cause. So on this middle column, everybody's instrumental cause. In the left column is a soul, which is a principal cause. So principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, principal cause, secondary cause relationship. And so that is true from the modal perspective, but that relationship is transient. That relationship between two substances, that relationship between two modes, and so they are not true from the substantial perspective. So we have to have balance. Balancing is very, very important. We can't be dragged on one side, either side. If I drag towards a side saying that, well, I'm the pure soul and everything, and I don't have any relationship with anybody else and all the thing, and that's what Banarsi Das did, and I think 15th century Banarsi Das. He wrote down Samaysar Natak. Samaysar Natak. He wrote down that one. And when he was doing all those things, when he was growing up, he said he had a kind of a fallacy about the absolute point of view. I am the pure soul. I'm the pure soul. In the home, he will take his clothes off. He will walk with nakedness, everything, because I have no relationship with anybody else. And so he was that kind of a person in which he was absolutely leaning only towards absolute point of view, ignoring the conventional state of modal state. When he understood all those things, then he realized what was the mistake he was making, and then he wrote down Samaysar Natak, and that's an amazing, amazing scripture that Gurudev has taken that scripture also, and there is tons and tons of good things are there in that scripture also. Sometimes in the future, the time permits or whatever, we will be trying to take we will try to take that also and see what happens. So we don't want to go on substantial aspect only and dependent it only and ignoring the modal aspect totally. That will be fallacy of our absolute point of view. On the contrary, on the other side, one depends on modal state only. Oh, because of you everything is happening to me, because of you it's happening, because of that person I'm miserable, and all kind of thing. I'm dependent on the alien object for my success or failure, and that's only my attitude. That is called fallacy of modal point of view. That is also not true. So that's why Mokshma Prakashak, and Ankit, this is for you. When you are reading 7th chapter on Mokshma Prakashak, there are special sections given in the fallacy of absolute point of view, fallacy of modal point of view, and fallacy of both. How can I not be in the balance? And that's a beautifully, those chapters are mentioned in the Mokshma Prakashak in the 7th chapter. You should try to read. It is also in English. And as Ankit, he was here last week and he told me, and that's true, that it is English translation is done by one of the Panditji in India, and he has done absolutely great job, and it's available to download from the atmadharma.com and vitragvani.com. You can download and read that one. Very nice English he has written. And Hemchandji, he's I think postgraduate engineering person, and later on he gave up everything. He's a Bal Brahmachari. He is roughly 70 plus years of age, living in Devlali. He has done a great job. So that's one of these scripture completely available in English language. You can try to read that. Mokshma Prakashak, English. Okay. All right. So having said that, let's go to the next slide. So now this is not Gurudev has not given. This is what I thought to include, because so far we have realized 9 tattva, 9 tattva, 9 tattva, 9 tattva, and within that 9 tattva, we have to find it out, the uniqueness of the eternal soul substance. What is that thing coming from? If the Samaysar says that, but do you have any other reference to just solidify this point? Or you just keep on saying Samaysar, 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 you just keep on singing about Samaysar because you love it? No. Tattvat Sutra, chapter 1, sutra number 4, it says this one, and again English will come next. Let's put that one. Yeah, okay. Jeev, ajeev, astra, ban, samvar, nija, mokshas tattvam. This is one sentence. Sutra 4, chapter 1. It says, Jeev, ajeev, astra, ban, samvar, nija, mokshas tattvam. What does that mean? It means that a jeev, asra, ban, samvar, nija, mokshaha, and tattvam. So these two words are very important. These two words are very important. Mokshaha and tattvam. Now, that comes, I mean, if you don't know the richness of Sanskrit language, richness of Sanskrit language is such that in the whole sentence, one sentence alone, Acharya Umaswati ji gave a tremendous loaded message to us, which is the same thing as 13 stanza of Samaysar. What does it say? Living, well, let's see. Okay. Jeev, ajiv, asrav, band, samvar, nija, mokshaha, tattvam. Means, jeev means living, non-living, inflow, bondage, stoppage, shading, and liberation are all 7 elements. So, up to here, Jeev, ajiv, asrav, ban, samvar, nija, mokshaha. Mokshaha means there are 7 elements, means it is in a more than 1, more than 2, and that's why it's called mokshaha. Moksham, moksho, mokshaha. If you learn Sanskrit, that will be the then there is many things are involved. There's called what's the English word for that? Ekvachan, singular, and this is plural. Okay, this is, so word mokshaha is a plural sentence, plural word, because it just encompasses everything together and says we are all 7 together. So it's a plural sentence occurred. So this mokshaha will be telling that everybody are together, plural sentence. So all 7 elements are plural sentence used. But then Acharya Umaswati ji used word tattvam. Tattvam is a singular word. Tattvam. So living, non-living, inflow, bondage, stoppage, shading, and liberation are. Are means a plural. 7 elements. This is kind of a grammar going on. So all these 7 elements are in a plural way that I'm mentioning. That's what Acharya Umaswati ji is saying. But they are called tattvam. Tattvam means nature of a thing, means it's a singular word. So putting all 7 elements together, all 7 elements together, which are in the plural sentence, but ultimately he says this is, that means it's a nature of a thing. A means singular. See, this is such a minutest point, and Gurudev pointed that one out. He has given in that lecture that this last sentence tattvam, it should be tattvaha if he wants to write it in a plural sentence. But he says no, those 7 elements are together as one unit. One unit means all 7 elements are in the form of a singular word. Means all 7 elements are in a modal state, but that it's a singular word is an eternal soul substance. So in that 7 elements, when you go in detail, then you find it out that there is one unique thing, one singular thing is hidden behind, and that's an eternal soul substance. And so if I have faith on that eternal soul substance, having 7 modes in the form of living, non-living, inflow, bondage, stoppage, shading, and liberation, so that eternal soul substance in singular form, having 7 modes present, that kind of a substance, I have a faith, that is called Samyak Darshan. So Tattvat Sutra says the same thing. The 13th stanza Samaysar says the same thing. And this is only possible way we can today understand, because Gurudev Sri expounded this thing, exposed this kind of hidden secret, hidden gem in that one, the one tattvam word itself. One tattvam word itself is making this whole thing change. So that's why in a philosophy, in scripture, in the Holy Scripture, even each and every singular simple word is very, 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 very important. And if we just ignore that word, we can just go on wrong track. And that's why we have to have somebody learned person, somebody learned who has an experience of the soul, just like Gurudevji, who has an experiencing, who has Samyak Darshan, and he is a learned person that he explains to us, and this intricacy he is telling us. There's not a huge scriptures written before. Kunkun Acharya Dev wrote down the stanza in 2 lines and he walked out. 13th stanza he wrote down in 2 lines and he walked out. But expansion that we are talking for last several weeks, that's because Gurudev gave that idea to us, advice to us, understanding to us, and so we are imbibing that one, and we are just trying to get into our nature, and that way we are trying to convert our system that I have to have my eternal soul substance faith, and that is called Samyak Darshan. So when somebody says, Now Tattvanu Shraddhane Samyak Darshan, that is not true. Now Tattvana Shraddhanma Rahela Ekatvanu Shraddhan, a Samyak Darshan છે. Because the word Tattvam is there. So if somebody says, no Tattvanu Shraddhan is Samyak Darshan, I already know the 9 reals and 9 elements and everything, so I have Samyak Darshan. No. Did you realize that in that 9 elements there is a hidden thing behind, and there is an eternal soul substance? And did you put your attention to that one? So see, now suddenly your thought process opens up and says, oh my God, this is what has been taught in the Patshala. This is what has been generally been conveyed to everybody everywhere. Have the faith in 9 reals, and that's a samyak, because Tattvat Sutra says, but Tattvat Sutra also added one extra word, Tattvam, at the end, which is a singular word, means all these 9 elements having one singularity, and that is eternal soul substance. One little word can make tremendous difference. That's what take-home message is over here. Okay, having said that, let's see now. One has to know the nature of the 9 elements to start with. Okay, I want to get Samyak Darshan. So first thing I have to understand what's the nature of the 9 elements. What is the inflow? What's the auspicious inclination? What's the inauspicious inclination? And what's a stoppage? What's a shading? What's a liberation? I have to have a pretty good idea about it. So 9 elements I have to understand individually. Now, once I know those 9 elements, then one has to find out a singular thing hidden in these 9 elements. What is the one simple thing which is present? You have the mala in your hand, in your home, and you recite that mala, and you just say Namo Yantana, Namo Yantana. So each time a new bead is coming, but all those 108 beads are connected through a common thread. And that common thread is hidden in these 9 elements, and that common singular hidden this hidden gem within these 9 elements that are to look for. First, I have to understand 9 elements the way they are. Then I have to go deeper and find out where is that singular hidden eternal soul substance. That is the eternal, unique, undivided, immutable soul substance. That's an eternal, unique, undivided, all knower, with having a infinite bliss, immutable soul substance. That's the one that I have to find it out. That's the one I have to keep my attention. Once I do that, one knows the unique nature of this soul substance, having different possible modes, then there is a right faith. Samyak Darshan occurs after having attention brought to the eternal soul substance. Up to here, nothing will happen. We have done this one infinite times in the past. I have read that one. I have thought about it, and I implemented all those things in my mode since time infinite in the past. In infinite times, I have done that one, but I have never done to find out that singular thing, which is a eternal soul substance. Once I can do that one, if I try to do that one, then I have a capacity that I'll be reaching that point. I want to have right faith. I want to get some darshan. To get some darshan, these are the things. This is the essence of 13th stanza. This is what Gurudev said. This is what Acharya Kunkun Acharya Dev said. This is what
Kirit
Amritsar.
uncle,
Yes.
explain the purple one. So once you know the nature of the soul substance,
Yeah.
having 9 different possible modes.
Yeah. Because
Then one obtains a, what do you mean having 9 different possible modes?
Because the modes that we just see over here, this one, living, this is living is a mode, non-living is a mode, inflow is a mode, bondage is a mode, stoppage, sharing, these are the modal aspect. A modal aspect. And if I know those modal aspect, first I have to know them.
Then you can have one of those 9. Okay.
Once I know them, that they, okay, I went to the temple today, I did a puja and abhishek for the Bhagwan. I already did a compassion feeling. Somebody was hungry, I gave food to him. I gave donation anonymously. All this auspicious thing I did. Okay, I did not become angry. I did not become cruel. I did not kill anybody by mind, speech, or actions. So I did not do the stealing. I did not lie, and all those things, they are called inauspicious inclinations. And those are the things when I do, they are the auspicious inclination only, or inauspicious inclination only. But behind that, the eternal soul substance is hiding, who is controlling all those things. And that's the one I have to have the attention to it. So ultimately, knowing those 9 elements in their own form. For example, let's say now that you raise a question, I go to temple regularly. I do the Swadhay regularly. I'm most pious person. I do lots of austerities. I do lots of fasting, etc. Those are called auspicious thing only, auspicious inclination only. Could that be beneficial to the soul? Number one, that is a modal aspect. And modal aspect is transient aspect. In transient aspect, if I pay my attention to it, then I don't go to the eternal soul substance, which is the eternal source of to faith on that one. So I just become very happy. Lots of people I meet and they say, well, I believe in humanity and these are all blah, 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 blah. You just keep on saying about this thing and you sit down in your air-conditioned house and everything and you keep on discussing all those things. It has no value because you are not, I'm just, my religion is humanity. It's not your religion. It's a humanity is your auspicious inclination. But that's a modal aspect. Behind that, now you bring your faith to the eternal soul substance. Then you will get a peace. Then you get a bliss. Then you'll get a happiness. Then you'll get a samyak darshan. So ultimate aim will be to bring the attention to the eternal soul substance, not to get fulfilled by doing the auspiciousness. Auspiciousness is one of the pathway coming. I want to go to the second floor, and there are 13 or 14 steps are there, and I'm on the 5th or 6th step, and I said, that's it, I'm done. No, you are halfway. You still have to go up. So when you cultivate the a substantial perspective, that means in mode you will automatically will have compensate. Compassion state and auspicious intent. All those things will come naturally to you. You don't have to force yourself to do it. Well, I have tons of money and I donated to everybody and donated to temple, and on the temple big more words are written, donated by, or this is the temple, Kirit Gosalia temple. No, that's not true. I'm looking for publicity. That is that's my vice, that's my ego, and that's called inauspiciousness. Can I give anonymous donation? That is a real auspicious thing. But again, that's only auspicious thing only. That's not somewhat, that's not experience of the soul. That does not take you to the experience of the soul. You have to understand that that's a pathway I'm on. I still have to go further. That's what it means. So once you know 9 elements in the pure form, proper form, then now you have to have further things is to bring the attention to the eternal soul substance. Does that thing make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That helped. Thank you.
That's good. Okay. All right. So now let's see what it comes. The faith mode. Now we are coming, we're concluding remarks and everything. Faith mode of the soul directs its attention to the eternal true nature of the self. We just say faith mode can be in 2 forms: alien directed or substance, eternal soul substance directed. So now my faith mode directs attention to my eternal soul substance, which was until now it was going to the alien objects of the universe. The knowledge mode ends up knowing the indivisibility nature of the eternal soul substance. Now, what happens first? We are talking about faith mode, means darshan, samyak darshan. This is called samyak gyan, means faith mode, when it gets directed to the eternal soul substance, then at the same time I end up knowing indivisibility nature of the eternal soul substance. You know, Gurudev is a very smart way. He introduced this little slide because that's a prelude to 14th stanza and 15th stanza. 14th stanza will talk only about the faith, then 15th stanza will talk about knowledge, and 16th stanza will talk faith, knowledge, and conduct. So he's slowly, very subtle way, he just introduced that idea to us that, wait, something next is coming, to get prepared for it. So now faith mode is directed to the soul substance. At the same time, knowledge mode knows the indivisibility of all the attribute present in the soul substance. And conduct, what happens? Conduct means no, but this 2 things only. Still the conviction and knowledge. Conviction means faith, and the knowledge. They are the mode. They are the modes. They have not entered into the eternal soul substance. This is a little confusing statement, but it's not confusing for us because we have gone through 6th and 7th stanza. What does it say? It says that mode is a mode, and soul substance is soul substance, and they both remain separate. For example, in this house, the 2 living people are living, Vibhuti and Kirit, they are living. From the outside person, this is Gosalia residence. Inside, there are 2 separate elements living, which is Vibhuti's soul and Kirit's soul. They are individually their own. She can do her own work, I can do my own work, and we are not affected by anybody. So inside the house, we both act independently. From outside, when you look at it, it's a one unique thing, Gosalia residence. So same way here, now that I've entered into the soul substance, that means conviction means faith mode and knowledge mode. They have not entered into the soul substance. Soul substance are separate. Remember that from slide that we had it about that peacock getting illuminated into the mode. Peacock illuminated into the mode. Peacock is present and it did not enter into the mode. In the mode, there was a illumination of the peacock only. Similarly, in that present mode where peacock is getting illuminated, the soul substance also get illuminated in my mode. So soul substance did not enter the mode. Soul substance remained as a soul. Over here, there is illumination. Peacock is over here. Peacock did not enter into the mode. Peacock was simply present there and illumination is there. Similarly here, soul substance is there and its illumination occurs in the mode. So that's what he said. The faith mode and knowledge mode are mode, and that has never entered eternal soul substance, because eternal soul substance is by itself. It's there in its own eternity, remains there forever, same way, forever and ever and ever again and ever. But only its illumination occurs in the modal state. So mode is separate from the soul when I enter into the soul and start analyzing that way. So that's what it says. Now, similarly now, 9 divisions are present in the mode but are made secondary and thereby untrue. Remember, we have seen that 6 and 7 stanza mainly, and we just said modes are present. This is soul substance. Modes are present, but when you talk from eternal soul substance perspective, then presence of mode is there, but made secondary, and thereby it's called untrue. 12th stanza, we talked about that one also. Presence is there, but because other thing is present, that's why it's called untrue. For example, a candle is there, candle is lit right now. There's no electricity right now. Light goes out and there's a candle, I put it on. And the candle will give the light to the room. So candle is own importance. Now, I kept the same candle, now the sun rises. Bright sun rises and I still keep the candle because that candle was good to me last night, so I would like to have that candle with me. That candle becomes secondary, and so becomes untrue compared to the sun's light. Compared to sun's light, that candle is untrue. But when the candle is alone at night time, that candle is important for me. So mode is the same way. Mode itself is important in its own form. But when you compare from the eternal soul's perspective, then the mode becomes secondary, and that's why it's untrue. That candle becomes secondary in presence of sunlight, and that's why it can be called untrue. Even though it's present, it's called untrue because bigger thing is present. So that's what author is trying to explain to us over here. The eternal soul substance is a true state. Ultimately, what is a true state? Eternal soul substance is a true state. So I'm just looking at this whole soul substance. From outside, soul substance is important, but when I'm coming into the soul substance, then soul has a soul substance, an attribute, and modes, and so modes are secondary, attributes are secondary, so eternal soul substance is a primary, it's a true state. So it is a non-relativistic, true, it is important. That's what I have to have my attention drawn there. From the pure point of view, only eternal soul, eternal self is manifesting, and 9 real divisions become secondary and thereby untrue, just like the sun and the candle. Same way, in presence of sun, that candle is a secondary, and that's why it can be called untrue. Its existence is not denied. During the sun also, the candle is present. I see the candle, but now my attention is not on the candle. My attention is on the source, my sunlight. So that's what it says over here. Furthermore, it says, continuing the same thing on the next slide, it says, taking attention away from the modal state and bring it to the eternal source substance. Take that attention away from the candle. Bring the attention to the eternal soul substance. Bring the attention to the sunlight, because that is giving me the most important thing right now. Experiencing of the indivisible soul substance. I have to experience the indivisible soul substance when I'm bringing my attention to the eternal soul substance. When I bring the attention there, then I can experience. And this experiencing through the pure point of view, which is called Swadhay, means I am experiencing my eternal soul substance. My faith is now directed to my soul substance. My faith from alien objects of the universe is gone. I'm just looking at an eternal soul substance. And that process is called Swadhay, or pure point of view. Because experience occurs in the modes. And up until now, we keep on saying to eternal soul substance is important, the candle is not important, so sunlight is important, soul substance is important, and all the thing we are talking. And suddenly we say experience occurs through modes. Because action in the soul substance, there is no action at all. It's inert. Infinite attribute, they are not no action, they are inert. Only action occurs in the mode, and in that mode, when the attention is drawn to the eternal soul substance, then the purity is generated, and I experience bliss, and that is in the modal aspect. This is known as right faith and right knowledge. So right now, what is right faith? What is right knowledge? So this is what is explained to us, that I have to understand nine reals the way they are. Once I understand that nine reals, then I make them secondary, and I draw my attention to the eternal soul substance, and thereby I generate right faith and right knowledge. In the experiencing phase, while I'm experiencing this eternal source in my modes, the eternal soul substance does not enter the mode, but its capability is perceived in the mode. Remember again that slide that we have it, in which the peacock is present. Peacock did not enter the mode, only illumination entered into the mode. Peacock is there. Peacock has not done anything. Similarly here, now eternal soul substance is over here. Its illumination is perceived in the mode, and so eternal soul substance remains over here forever. Only the illumination is perceived in the mode, and when I have the faith on that illumination, the two illuminations occurred in my mode. Peacock occurred and soul substance occurred. I made peacock as secondary and soul substance as primary. And so that's called experiencing, that's called samyak darshan, that's called right faith, that's called right knowledge, that's called right conduct. That means I'm the path for liberation. Let's see what it says over. Experiencing the eternal self, what is its nature? Now, experiencing the eternal itself, what is its nature? Let's see what it says over here. It says, full of embodiment of knowledge and bliss, Jnana Anand Swarup, means the eternal self, then I'm experiencing. Eternal self is over here. Eternal self is over here. And in the mode, it's illumination is there. Illumination is perceived, and I bring my faith on that illumination. At that time, I understand that this eternal soul substance is full of embodiment of knowledge, and bliss means Jnana Anand Swarup Atma. This peacock, when it was experienced in the mode, then in the modal state, I said, this peacock is colorful. This peacock looks graceful. this peacock walks in certain way, and all kind of things I perceive in my mode. Similarly, when eternal soul substance is in my mode and I put my attention to the eternal soul substance and I made the peacock a secondary, eternal soul substance made primary, then I end up knowing that this eternal soul substance is full of knowledge and full of bliss. This eternal soul substance is full of knowledge, full of bliss. Substance is having indivisibility. This eternal substance is indivisible. There is no divisions within. They are there, but made secondary, and so the soul substance is indivisible in nature. Unique, indivisible, one only. It's a supreme, having supreme sovereignty. Supreme sovereignty means this indivisible soul substance having embodiment of knowledge and bliss, having infinite attribute within. So I have supreme sovereignty within me. I don't need anywhere else to look for my sovereignty. It's within me. I am perfect. I'm complete. I don't have to go outside. It's a majestic spiritual glory is there because it's a unique, because it is non-dependent on anybody else, because it is supreme sovereignty, it's a indivisible. So that's what it is. And last one, it says, in the inclination of attachment state, there is no experiencing of the self. So all these previous 4 bullets that I experienced when I brought attention to my eternal soul substance, when I'm in the reflective state, when I'm in when I'm in rag dvesh state, I cannot experience soul substance. Do I want to experience soul substance? Yes. Then I have to go beyond rag and dvesh. How do I give up my rag and dvesh? I don't want to become anger. I don't want to become anger. I don't want to become. No, I can't think that way. That anger, deceit, ego, greed are the ignorance, that darkness. Don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to the eternal soul substance, the light full of knowledge. When have that knowledge, bright knowledge gets shining. When the bright knowledge gets shining, then darkness of ignorance, of anger, deceit, ego, greed, they run away by themselves. I don't have to push them away. So I have to have different perspective. On the blackboard, I wrote one small line and I say, make that small line small, make that line small without erasing it. How can I make it? No, it's not possible. It's not. Well, what did I say? Make that line small without touching. What do? You put the another big line in front. Automatically, this one is called small line. So when you light when you light the knowledge of the eternal soul substance, then anger, deceit, ego, greed becomes minuscule. They disappear. So that's what again essence is coming, and what it says. Conventional point of view and absolute point of view, we are expert on that one, so we'll go quickly on that slide. Knowledge of the scripture, knowledge of the words only. First we have to say knowledge. What is knowledge? I know the knowledge. I know the scripture. I know them by heart. I can recite them because I'm talking from the memory and everything. So the knowledge of the scripture. But in absolute point of view, knowledge of the self. Knowledge of the self. This eternal soul substance is over here and its a reflection is over here. I have know that one. That knowledge of the self is a true knowledge. Then faith. Knowledge, faith and conduct. Knowledge, faith, and third will be conduct. So faith in the divisional aspect of real nature of the 9 reals. First, I have to have real faith or real understanding of 9 tattva, the way they are. Their nature I have to understand. That's a conventional wisdom. But faith in the eternal indivisible soul substance, which is hidden in these 9 reals, that's called absolute point of view. That's called Samyak Darshan. Now, conventional point of view, you have compassion for all six types of transmigratory living being. Now, that means 1 sense living, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense living being, compassion towards them. That's called conventional point of view. And to get engrossed in the real nature of the self, it's called absolute conduct. Now, when I have the absolute point of view knowledge, absolute point of view of faith, absolute point of view as of engrossment, then automatically these things are present within me. I, I don't have to cultivate them. They are already sprouting up. They're already present that way when my attention is drawn over here. So somebody says, well, I just believe in compassion only and that's it. I don't want to do anything no more than that. He's in a conventional point of view, but he's not an absolute point of view. When he's in absolute point of view, that compassion feeling comes automatic. That understanding of the scripture comes automatic. That faith in the division of the nine real comes automatic. So these are the things that you have to understand. Then this is the really on a closing thing, Gurudev threw this one, and this is a one which if you can remember by heart and put it in your daily routine as a one of the rituals to perform after waking up, before going to sleep, it will be a good thing. What it says, Jason Acharya in stanza 320, he said this sentence, जे सकल निरावरण अखंड एक प्रत्यक्ष प्रतिभासमय अविनश्वर शुद्ध पारमिक परम भाव लक्षण निज परमात्मा तत्व ते हूँ छूं. It's a mouthful of words are there, and we'll just quickly go through it. The meaning of that one, it makes tons and tons of meaning, because this is 320 stanza. In fact, Gurudev loved it so much that there's a special book on 320 stanza alone. This is a great, I mean, 320 stanza means Samaysar was ending there. 320 stanza was the end of Samaysar, and thereafter the next stanzas comes, and ultimately it became 415 stanza. But at one point, 320 stanza was the end of it. So Jason Acharya, which is he became I think in 12th or 13th century, that he wrote down this one, and this is a very powerful statement. And Gurudev recites this one every day also in his routine things. जे सकल निरावरण अखंड एक प्रत्यक्ष प्रतिभासमय अविनश्वर शुद्ध पारिणामिक परम भाव लक्षण निज परमात्मा तत्व ते हूँ छूं, means who am I? He is defining who am I. We'll break each one a little bit slowly and just go through it. Je sakal niravaran means one which is whole and manifested forever. I am whole and I'm manifesting forever and ever and ever. Akhand means indivisible, without any division, means I'm the sole substance having infinite attribute, infinite mode, but they're in the indivisible fashion. They are not division. For our understanding, we are making divisions to understand that one. But there are no divisions there. It's a one whole thing. That's it, with all this present. Okay. Ek means identical, unified, indistinct. Means there are no division from about negative perspective, but they are identical or unified for positive perspective. So that's Akhand Ek. Pratyaksh Pratibhasmay means the knowledge mode, the eternal soul substance gets manifested as it is. In the knowledge mode, the eternal soul substance in the knowledge mode gets manifested as it is. The illumination is exactly same as eternal soul substance. Illumination is same as a peacock over here. Illumination of the peacock is there. Similarly here, eternal soul substance is there. In knowledge mode, the eternal soul substance gets manifested as it is. Avinashwar means eternal. This soul substance is eternal. Shuddha Paramik Param Bhav Lakshan Nij Paramatma Tattva means pure inherent nature, quality of supreme nature, self, transcendental self reality. And that is me. That is me. So, in general, whole sentence on this left side means I'm the one whole, I'm manifesting forever, I'm indivisible, I'm unified, identical. In the knowledge mode, eternal substance get manifested as it is. I'm eternal, I'm pure inherent nature, and that is me. So who am I? This is what I am. This is what Gurudev tells in this 13th stanza, and I think that is the end of it, I think. Oh no, okay. So eternal soul substance is man. Okay, now again, he just Gurudev praises the eternal soul substance in the glory. He just comes out in now. He is so happy, so excited. He gives different names to this eternal soul substance. He says, master of all modes, means Paryayika Pati. He's a master of all the modes. Then he's all knower soul substance means is all, it's a Gnayak. He's eternally pure, means he's a Trikal Suddha. Eternally with a bliss, means Trikal Anand. Eternally indivisible means Trikal Akhand. Eternally one means Trikal Ek. And eternally indiscriminate means Trikal Samanya. These are the virtues of the eternal soul substance that Gurudev is singing along with us to just tell us that what's the glory of this eternal soul substance. He has experienced it, so from his experience, he is coming out with all kind of adjective for this eternal soul substance. Verbal meaning of 13th stanza means bhavat. It's very short, one slide. From pure point of view, in the nine real, the eternal soul substance is shining. From pure point of view, in nine reals, the eternal substance is hiding. Eternal substance is hiding. Eternal substance is sitting there. Eternal substance is shining. So that's what I have to try to get it. At this moment, the difference of nine real becomes secondary in the nature. In front of sun, the candle becomes secondary. Same way, in front of eternal soul substance, this nine real becomes secondary in nature. Till this type of attitude does not get developed, I have to develop that attitude, but till that is not developed, one remains in conventional state, in modal state, in divisional understanding, in the ignorant state. Till I develop this attitude of having eternal soul substance is the primary thing behind those nine reals. Once I get that attitude, I'm okay. But till that I have not developed that attitude, means I'm the ignorant state. That's what author is telling us. From standpoint of bondage of the soul and karma perspective, one experiences nine reals. In the modal aspect, I have understand that nine reals are present. With knowing differences of nine reals, one has modal sense, it's wrong faith. I just understood nine reals. That what is auspicious name? What's the inauspicious name? There are 5 divisions of the inflow. There are 4 divisions of the bondage. There are 57 divisions of the stoppage, and there are 12 divisions of the contemplation of the nirjara. All those things I know it. There's a modal state, the wrong faith. But when one brings his or her attention to the eternal soul substance, then there are no divisions of nine reals. Nine real divisions become secondary, even though they are present, become secondary. When one looks from the pure point of view, then all nine reals are not present because they were generated due to having principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. We already knew that all the modes occurred because of presence of nimit being present. Presence of instrumental cause present at the time. That's why the express mode was there. But that's a mode, and that was express mode. There was association with the instrumental cause, and all those things are secondary when I bring the attention to the eternal soul substance. Absence of principal auxiliary cause relationship, and soul and karma become separate entities, and nine real comes to an end, means they are present but they become secondary, and that's why they become untrue. Soul now ends up with the right faith. So again, from different perspective, Gurudev Sri asks us how to perceive the eternal soul substance. That's the end of 13th stanza. It took a long time for us, but it's a very, very important. Gurudev loved this stanza so much. So he keeps on reciting that one very different, different places in the scripture. He will keep on talking about this stanza again and again and again. Now we understood this one, so it is much better for us. So most important stanzas, first stanza, sixth stanza, 11th stanza, and this 13th stanza. So some of the super important stanzas we have finished. Now our base is stronger. Next sets of stanzas coming, it will make lots of sense to us. It will make sense that what Gurudev, what Kunkun Acharya Dev wanted to convince us. What do I have to know? How do I progress? And rest of the thing comes automatic in my behavior and everything. I don't have to cultivate any feelings and everything. It comes automatic. Any questions so far?
No, thank you.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Kirit Uncle. I feel like we've come a long way.
Yes. It was. We went through a long way because this
And
is.
thank you for the inspiration to continue studying.
No, well, this well, it's not your inspiration; it's my inspiration too, because I had to study too, right? I mean, it's you guys are limit for me to study myself, So
Yeah, well, you're setting a great example of studying and teaching, and I hope to do the same thing one day.
do the same. I'm so absolutely convinced that you guys are going to be the torch bearer for the future Jainism, and Jainism has a great future in this country because of some young soldiers like you. All right.
I think I missed a lot in the last couple of months.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you, Sanjay.
But you know what? I will try and connect with you to get some of the old ones that I missed.
I have it, and I'm a procrastinator. I have everything ready. I had to put it on. Our Jain Center of Greater Phoenix website is now really updated. So now we will put everything on it so anybody can pull it out from there easily.
Let me know once it's done, please.
Please, yeah, okay. All right. Okay, we'll do the closing. Okay. अहो उपकार जिनवरनो कुंदनो ध्वनि दिव्यनो जीन कुंद ध्वनि आत्या अहो ते गुरु काननो जीन कुंद ध्वनि आत्या अहो भगवती मातनो झावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालो सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देता हूँ जो 9 times नमो का मंत्र Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Thank you.
Jai Jinendra.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Hey, Janendra.
Jai